recommend you check out my introduction video to Lost on my channel. It explains what the show is about and tells you what you need to know. My intentions are also explained on why I'm reviewing the show. There are spoilers for every review as well, so you have been warned. It all begins as a guy wakes up in the middle of a jungle wearing a suit, clearly looking out of place, like if I go outside. So this guy gets up and starts to chase after a dog, and then while he's skillfully avoiding whiplash, he's greeted with a beach and hears a girl scream. There's broken airplane everywhere and the sound of an airplane jet, so they're all in a plane crash. So our guy is going around saving everyone and the only person who's actually doing anything. You'll find this quickly becomes a recurring theme, and I would like to take the opportunity to point out a few things in this scene that are very annoying or just dumb. This won't be the last time you hear him scream that either. This is Michael, a guy who is apparently looking for a son named Walt. Unfortunately, he does this so much that it becomes more like a running gag. Not to mention that I must point out how annoying this guy is going to be in the future.
Stay away from the gas! Stay there!
Shut up! This is Shannon, and you'll find her to be one of the most uninteresting characters you'll find on this show. Also one of the most annoying, possibly taking Michael's spot as the most annoying character in Lost.
Hey! What's your name? Jack!
I found this forced. I guess when they wrote this part, they thought the attention spans were running low. With a big exciting plane crash aftermath, we were really thinking about his name. So Mr. Jolly randomly asks his name. Very important information during a crisis. Trust me, Jack, you don't want to do that. You'll be awakening what is going to end up being the most stereotypical grieving wife of the show. Since she's such a minor character in the first season, there's really not much point in even acknowledging her existence. She's mostly there to just fill in the minutes. Moving on, Jack does more heroics and gets the big-boned guy and the pregnant girl out of the way from the piece of the plane which will come crashing down on them, which then leads up to the introduction of one of my personal favorite characters, Charlie. The aftermath of the crash is finished, and the whole opening scene to the show was impressive. It featured nice cinematic shots and decent special effects for what TV can offer. And special features for this season on DVD, there's a short documentary on what lengths they went to with the opening scene. It also delivered unique music, which is very rare for any TV show, as most TV shows can't afford its own music and leech off of music that was released around the time an episode airs. Unfortunately, the quality of its soundtrack diminishes as the show grows older, which is a shame because we have a long way to go until that becomes a problem. So on to the next scene. Jack shows some mortality as he cut himself on something, probably when he was running carelessly through all that bamboo. The next character introduced is Kate, a fan favorite. Not for the reasons you may think, however. She has the depth of a cracker without the cheese. So that makes her a fan favorite to mock whenever she does something stupid, only serving the plot. So Jack asks her if she can sew up the wound. Not that I like Kate much, but I'm the only one who notices the women always need to sew the wound and the men get to cauterize it. Then again, I could just be digging too deep. The next thing which happens is priceless.
It's for your hand. Save me some. For the wound.
Please go out with me. Then Jack shares a story from his life as a spinal surgeon, involving him spilling angel hair passed on his spine during surgery and how he overcame his fears of failure. They enjoy the bonding session, and Kate sews up the wound. Enter the bad dude and highly enjoyable character, Sawyer. Some of his hobbies consist of chain smoking and calling people nicknames using his vast knowledge of pop culture. I bet he plays a mean game of Trivia Pursuit. Now it's night, and another survivor named Saeed begins to have doubts of them being rescued anytime soon. Then there's a bunch of characters talking about some of their theories and experiences involving the plane crash. This leads to Jack taking logical action.
Why?
Because there's a chance we could find the cockpit. If it's intact, we might be able to find a transceiver. We could send out a signal, help the rescue party find us.
One thing about the show, logical actions lead to someone getting hurt. Then after Jack and Kate exchange names and have another bonding moment, It's all interrupted by random, loud, scary noises. Trees move and get knocked down, and naturally everyone is freaked out. So we cut to the first flashback in the show, which covers Jack enjoying a hard drink. Then the plane begins to crash. That's a lot of stuff that happened right there. Back to the present, Jack and Kate decide to still go in the jungle. Jack wants Kate to get better shoes, so while she's busy getting better shoes off a dead guy, a new character stares at Kate. He's John Locke, commonly referred to as a Locke. He's hard to understand at first, and is one of these love-or-hate characters. I'll dive deep into him during the episode 4 review. So Jack and Kate head off, and Charlie decides to come with them because he's bored. So there's heavy rain, and everyone huddles together and takes cover except for Locke, who seems to be embracing his role as George of the Jungle. The people who are actually doing something useful have found the front of the plane, get inside and find the pilot. So they get the transceiver, and wouldn't you know, it's not working. So the thing bumping in the jungle grabs the pilot for all his bad acting and heroes. Then they run for their lives and scatter in any direction because that's the ticket to survival. Meanwhile, Kate learned to count to 5 thanks to Jack's teaching during the wound bonding. They find each other again and see the pilot brutally mangled. Good riddance.